The Cubs might be a 2023 World Series contender. We talk about it next.
You are Locked On Cubs, your daily Chicago Cubs podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
You are Locked On Cubs, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Alongside Sam Olber, I'm Matt Cozy. Please support the show and be a part of our show community by following on your preferred audio platform. And you could watch, subscribe, and leave a comment on YouTube. Thanks so much for making us your first listen. Sam and I are lifelong fans, taking our passion into a discussion with you on all things Cubs. Cubs with another win to win the series over the Nationals on Wednesday night. Close game throughout, including a 3-3 tie entering the bottom of the eighth. And the Northsiders scored 5 in the frame to win 8-3. Yan Gomes hit a go-ahead sacrifice fly. And then Nico Hoerner with an exclamation point connecting for a grand slam. Cubs are now back to 5 games under 500 at 45-50 on the season. Sam, it was an exciting game for the most part and a nice win.
Yeah, it was. Back-to-back games that felt pretty close late that ended up being wins. But this one was different. This was a really significant eighth inning. And, Tauchman and Hoerner combined for 7 runs batted in on Wednesday night. And those two guys, I would say my hierarchy of guys I feel great about in clutch situations on this team is Tauchman number 1, Nico number 2. It was Nico 1 until this recent funk, so it's nice to see him snap out of it. Madrigal and Gomes, those 4 guys.
Wow.
And it's crazy to me, and I'm going to be positive on this show, but my only negative thing I'll say is it's mind-boggling that Tauchman and Hoerner hit 1-2 when they are the guys, they're the run producers. Tauchman actually also gets on base, so at least that's defensible. But it's just if you just make, and today it worked out because they were up in big spots, but if you just make one simple switch, have your high OBP guys at the top and your run producers in the middle, you're going to score more. But anyways, it was a great win. Hendricks was tremendous. The one run he gave up was ridiculous.
Oh, it was terrible. 2 infield hits in the inning.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. He was awesome. Tauchman's ABs just
crazy.
You just can't say enough. And it was really nice to see them blow a game late and then come back the immediate half inning. Suzuki single, Morel walk. Weird Mastro AB. I thought he'd be bunting from the jump. He swings away, then bunts, then swings away, and then bunts with 2 strikes, gets it down beautifully. Mm-hmm. And then, the floodgates open with Yan and Nico. Here's a fun fact, Matt. Ready for this? And
yes.
I have no idea what this means, but I researched it before the game, and then it happened. This is the first series the Cubs have won all year when they lose the opener.
Wow. Yeah, and I got some more stuff to a similar tune to that in a few minutes.
Just such a weird team, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really become a ride that's broken at like a Six Flags. Just up and down, and they got to do a lot of maintenance on it. You got to be like a certain height to ride it, and it's just been a weird year.
And happy birthday to Yan Gomes.
Okay, yes, happy birthday. Tauchman, Hoerner, Bellinger, Suzuki, and Mastroboni all with multi-hit games. You mentioned Kyle Hendricks, Sam. 1 run in 6 innings, 5 hits, goose egg in the walks department. No walks, 5 strikeouts. Leiter, Merriweather, and Palencia out of the pen, with Merriweather really struggling.
Yeah.
And I think you can consider Tauchman as the best in high leverage and best with runners on base, and I got numbers to prove it. And I think you could consider the Palatine native and friend alum as the most consistent hitter on the entire team this year. If it wasn't for Bellinger and Swanson, especially Bellinger's hot streak last 20 games, he would have more of a case in the jury room, in the courtroom. But Tauchman has been excellent all year.
Yeah, the only case against him is he just doesn't really play against lefties.
Right.
If he played every day and he did this, and he's a great example to the reverse of what I talk about with Happen Suzuki. His numbers aren't going to blow you away, but if you watch the game on a daily basis,
sure.
I mean, since he's been up, the hit off Devin Williams, the at bat the other night that resulted in a line out, today's performance, he had a game-winning sac fly against the Rays, I think, and then a game-winning hit the following day. He is just involved, and he's one of the rare baseball players in 2023, and Nico is like this as well, that not only stay the same, but get better the bigger the moment. And there's statistics.
Way better.
And there's no analytics on that. There's no stats on that. That's just called the human element of the game. When it matters, he's at his best. And I need guys like that on my team. You need guys that get on base. You need guys that hit the 500-foot homers. But you also need guys that say, hey, game's on the line. Let's go.
Because that translates into winning moments.
Yep.
If you have efforts and moments like that, you're likely going to win more games.
I tweeted out today that he is the most, and this is more of an indictment on this stretch of Cubs baseball, but he is the most clutch Cub I've seen since Ben Zobrist.
Wow. That's good.
Name a more clutch Cub.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
In 2016.
Wow, that gets me giddy. I kind of want to jump around, but I'm sitting.
In 2016, I'll never forget this. Of course I won't. When Cleveland walked Rizzo to get there's nobody that respects there's nobody that respects Tito Francona. I couldn't have been happier. I didn't say anything. I didn't make any calls. It wasn't that type of moment. Not about that. But I just couldn't have been internally I'm going, I can't believe they're going to walk Rizzo and give this I don't care about the OPS. I don't care about the average. This moment is meant for Ben Zobrist. Just like any clutch moment, give me Mike Tauchman over any Cub. I don't care. I'll take Mike Tauchman with the game on the line over some big name guys that are hit or miss, like Giancarlo Stanton. Who'd you rather have?
Right.
Sitting 190. So Kyle Schwarber or Mike Tauchman, game on the line. Who'd you rather have?
Tauchman. Because of the bat to ball skills. He's in the top 3 or 4 on this roster, bat to ball.
And he's
not even close.
And he's got a great eye. Don't forget that walk before the Horner Granny.
4.5 pitches per plate appearance.
And he thrives in it. He thrives in it.
All right, so he's got 29 RBIs on the year. RBI. And 26 are with runners in scoring position. He's hitting .326 and with a .415 on base with runners in scoring position. In high leverage moments, according to Baseball Reference, this is entering Wednesday, so it's even better. He's hitting .280 with a .355 on base. It's not even close.
He's got 2 less RBIs than Suzuki. He's been here half the time.
And he has been the most clutch.
And he hasn't even hit in the middle of the order.
Good in high leverage. And I'll be damned if I don't enjoy watching him every day.
Well, you might get a chance to watch him every day if they trade Bellinger.
Oh, wow. Well, I hope not. But there's so many shows out there, WRC Plus and WOBA. Who cares?
Yeah, there's a place for it, but in this situation,
let's pull up a seat and talk baseball. And what we've seen from Mike Tauchman has been excellent this year.
100%.
It has.
100%.
Been a joy.
You need guys on your team that do that because there's just certain times where you just need to hit homers and do stuff.
Right.
But you need guys like this too.
And I also have one interest. I did want to get your quick reaction to this.
Yeah, they should trade him. Oh, no.
He's hitting .354 when he swings at the first pitch.
Yeah, and that doesn't surprise me because he's typically very selective, and sometimes like today, I think the homer that he hit today, I think that was the first pitch of the game.
I think it might have been 1-0.
Oh, might have been 1-0. He ambushes you.
All right, and the other thing I have from this game, as a reflection of the whole campaign for this roller coaster. Cubs in 2023 have won 2 games in a row only 11 times all year. And they've won 3 or more, which they could do again on Thursday.
4.
They've won 3 or more only
4
times.
Horrible.
Do you have this by memory?
I just guessed.
Do you want to guess the periods or not?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
3,
All right, here we go.
You said 3 in a row?
Yeah, 3 in a row. They've done it. There's been 4 stretches.
Okay, so
I might have to go to Baseball Reference.
So
I have it in front of me, but not necessarily opponents.
They won 4 in a row against the Dodgers and then Oakland. That's 1, right? That was in April.
Yes, right. So that was the second one of the year.
Oh, they won 3 in a row when they beat Cincinnati, and then the first 2 games against Texas.
That's correct.
And then they won 3 in a row when they beat Pittsburgh, and then they won 3 in a row again when they beat Pittsburgh again.
Right. Yeah.
And then there are some more wins after that.
Yeah, exactly. So the third stretch, there was 5 in a row. Second was 4 in a row, all in that same June period where they went 11-2.
Right.
So yeah, 4 times all year. They could do it for a 5th on Thursday.
Yeah.
It's wild that you only have that little times where you've done 3 plus.
Not if you've been on this ride.
That's true.
It ain't wild.
That's true. And sometimes without a seatbelt. All right. So they have a chance to do that on Thursday. It's going to be Cubs Cardinals. Cardinals have played really well.
Oh,
and we're going to talk about that and preview the series next. Today's episode is brought to you by eBay Motors. For a championship team, it's all about making sure every player is a perfect fit. It's the same when it comes to your vehicle. Every part needs to fit just right. So the next time you need parts and accessories, head to eBay Motors. With eBay Guaranteed Fit, you can be sure every part you need fits right the first time around. Just add your ride to My Garage and look for the green check to know the part will fit or your money back. Because just like in sports, confidence is the name of the game when you shop on eBay Motors. And with over 122 million parts to choose from, you'll be back in the game in no time. After all, it's easy to bring home a win when the right parts are guaranteed. Get the right parts, the right fit, and the right prices on ebaymotors.com. Let's ride. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. Cubs play the Cardinals at 7:05 p.m. Central Thursday, and you can listen to every pitch with the Cubs hometown broadcast on SiriusXM. On the SXM app, search Cubs or tune in to channel 844 and catch the Cubs all season long on SiriusXM. And you're going to need that hometown broadcast for Friday's game, as it's an Apple TV Plus game. 7:05 and then 3 straight 120s. Friday through Sunday. It's going to be Stroman against Matz, lefty Matz, who has an ERA, I believe, in the 50s. Steele versus Flaherty. And the Cubs have chose to not announce and also be secretive about Saturday and Sunday. Manager David Ross gave a embarrassing response before Wednesday's contest.
and
the Cardinals will be rolling out Michaelis and Montgomery in those games.
Yeah, Cubs have struggled against Michaelis here recently. We'll see what they do with Matz. He's a lefty. On paper, that's the Thursday night's your best matchup. And then you feel pretty good about Steele Flaherty. Although
yes, I think you feel good Thursday and Friday.
Because who you got, but Flaherty's been pitching better. The Cardinals are playing well. It's probably too late for them. But this does feel like an old school WWF loser leaves town match, right? Yeah. Whoever loses, my guess is, and by the way, ludicrous that they play 8 games against the same team in 11 days. That's just ludicrous. It's ludicrous. Okay,
that's a lot.
That's just not right. You're spreading out the schedule. Figure out a way to get another series or 2 in before that. That's not fair to either team. Yeah, it's ridiculous. My guess is it'll be a split, and they'll. Which is an L for both teams, right? These teams need wins and wins quickly.
Yes. Split would not be good.
So they both could kind of eliminate each other in a way,
right?
But by splitting, But if let's say the Cubs take 3 out of 4 this weekend and St. Louis is done, or vice versa. And listen, the Cubs, if they do take 3 out of 4 this weekend, maybe the Cardinals make a trade before they go back to Busch, or something like that could help them. And the other thing I do want to mention is sometimes all blowouts, and this wasn't one on Wednesday night, aren't created equally. That home run by Nico Horner, you know me, I always like to think about the next game. That allowed Adbert Alzolay to sit the 9th out, which would make him available Thursday night because he threw 25 pitches Tuesday. If he comes in for the save tonight, he's down Thursday night. So now
100% he's for sure in gym shoes.
Yeah. So now he's freed up. So that if Horner just hits a single there and the Cubs win 6-3, that could be, it's those little things you always think about. And now you have your closer available, maybe even for more than 3 outs on Thursday night. So
great point. Yeah. And I think the stake should be that high where if he has to pitch 4 or 5 outs, go ahead.
Every single game, it's cliche to say it, is a playoff game.
Well, yeah, between now and the end of the month, it is.
Yeah, right. From now, and the frustrating part is the Cubs are 3-3 right now, which isn't where we want them to be in the second half, and Milwaukee's 6-2.
Wow.
And so the Cubs, they were 7 back of the Reds before the break. They've made up ground on the Reds, but they've lost ground on the Brewers, and they're still 7.5. So they haven't shaved any games yet.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate because I think that it's still a not a control your destiny moment.
No.
You got to get to 500, then maybe you scoreboard watch.
Right, I agree. I think you're right.
It stinks because you can't even really scoreboard watch.
No, I think if they get to 500, it'll result in itself. Milwaukee's got some tough games coming up. I'm not scoreboard watching. I just wanted to mention it. Just like as a hey, FYI, they haven't even gained a game yet.
Right.
But like you said, if they listen, and by the way, if they don't win the division and they do get to 500, that's still not that's something. Like that's about where they should be.
I saw 82-80 this year.
Yeah, so there's that, and listen, Suzuki back-to-back good games, Horner the big thing. So at least those guys are starting to show some signs of life. We'll see. Be a great game tomorrow night to watch because it might be Stroman's last ever start at Wrigley Field as a Cub. We don't know that.
Yeah,
he's had his issues against the Cardinals. The last time he pitched against the Cardinals was really the turning point of the season in a negative way.
Easily.
Mancini drops that ball first. Stroman completely implodes, has the blister, yada, yada.
They were 37-38, only 3 out entering that game.
Yeah. So,
so 4 games the rest of the week and on the homestand. So you could, if you got the brooms out, finish at the goal.
Yeah,
but it's such a large task.
Hard to sweep any team in a 4-game, or especially a team with that much talent that's rolling in here hot. But
winning the series would be 6-4.
Yeah, if they win 3, here's what I'd say, because I know people love to ask this, and the path to, as you would say, the path to holding on to guys is 3 out of 4 to St. Louis, sweep the White Sox.
That's a 2-gamer, right?
Correct, and then you could split in Busch. So if you go 7-3 in your next 10. How many times have we said that?
So many.
Yeah. Then
this is time number 7.
Then you'd be a game under 500. Jed would probably eat it. Maybe he would trade Bellinger just because I think the Cubs are going to get like 150 cents, 200 cents on the dollar for him.
Right.
And I don't mean this as an insult. He's been awesome. I really don't think the underlying metrics, like his analytics stuff, I don't think it's sustainable through next year. He's been fortunate, and I think they might capitalize on that with the way Tauchman's playing, but I could see him hanging on to Stroman if they're like a game under.
I think right now we could talk about this for next week to lead an episode.
I think you trade Bellinger either way. I know that's unpopular.
I think his value on the trade market this month is higher than his value on the open free agent market.
Yeah.
I still think a free agent deal for him might be like 4 for $100 or something.
Yeah, which I think is high. And
okay, wow.
Yeah, I wouldn't pay him that. I need more than a good couple of months with some lucky batted ball data to give a guy $100 million. But hey, listen, I'm not a general manager, so I just think that with PCA coming, and again, maybe he loves it here and they get him 4 years, 85 to play some first base because they don't have that position filled. I don't know. I'm just saying I know Jed, and he's been very shrewd in his couple deadlines, and
he's been non-emotional.
Yeah, and I think somebody is going to overpay for him, and if you're anti-trading Bellinger, which I think most of our listeners are, you're probably happy that the Yankees just got swept in Anaheim, because they're the team that if they're around and they go for it, they're the team I could see just paying 150 cents on the dollar for them, giving you like their number 2 and their number 4 prospect, maybe a controllable arm in return. But who knows? I don't know how this stuff works. Like, do you bring Bellinger in and say, hey, we traded you to the Yankees, thanks for everything, we're going to be in contact the minute free agency opens next year? Like, do you do that? Is that legal? Is that tampering? I don't know how that works.
I think you should, if you could.
Yeah. So
Cardinals winners of 8 of their last 10.
They've won like 20 in a row.
Yeah, 5. And I do wonder.
They swept a good Marlins club this week.
I do wonder if Hayden Wisniewski gets called up for a Saturday or Sunday.
Is that why you're thinking undecided? I thought about that.
Well, the Cubs announced it's undecided. I'm proposing that Wisniewski might get the call.
Well, it's hard to justify running Smiley out there right now.
Right.
I thought he pitched better against the Nationals. I wonder what the numbers say. I don't know. Did Smiley pitch against St. Louis this year? I can't remember. I think so. I know they went Stroman. Who knows? Yeah, that'd be great if Wisniewski came in here and gave him a lift. Maybe they do something creative. I could see him doing something creative, like going Wisniewski to Smiley or Smiley to Wisniewski, just piggyback them for
that'd
that.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm glad it took till game 97 to try that.
Yeah, no, game 150, we're going to start having these epiphanies.
Yeah, exactly. Great.
And Mancini went 0 for today. So.
Well, by game 150, the Bears are going to be 3-0.
Oh, well, are they though? Don't they have Kansas City kind of early?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they might travel over to Missouri for that game 3.
All right, well, 2-1. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to see Mahomes against this defense. There's not much pass rush there.
That's going to be a bloodbath.
No. Well, Detroit, the division favorites, they open up the season Thursday Night Football at Arrowhead.
Oh, wow. So that should be a loss. Hopefully.
Yeah, so we should be tied for first place after the first game of the year.
Shout out to the everydayers who are with us all 5 episodes throughout the week. And you can become an everydayer by checking us out each and every weekday. Be sure to hit that subscribe button for Locked On Cubs on YouTube and smash the like button for the algorithm. Apple, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast, and streaming on SiriusXM. He's Sam Olber. I'm Matt Cozy. This is Locked On Cubs.